Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF. Another Friday, another episode. A couple of weeks back, we spoke about a new term called LangChain, and we understood the concept. Sri Kantan was here to explain the concept behind LangChain, and it's time now to take a quick look at a short demo in terms of how LangChain can apply in enterprise scenarios. It's my pleasure to welcome Sri Kantan Shankaran, MTC Technical Architect, for a short conversation. Shrikanan, welcome to TGIF.
Hey, thanks, Sandeep. Hello.
Wonderful. So quickly, I think 2 weeks back you were here. We spoke about this new term LangChain, very relevant for developers as they build application using large language models, right? Now, conceptually, you explained three things, right? First one is templates, and second was agents, and third was memory, right? In terms of if somebody has to build a solution, internal LangChain uses these technicalities to kind of help you embrace large language models and have a conversation facade. Now I know in the last 2 weeks you built a beautiful demo. I thought of bringing you again on board here, and you can showcase the art of the possible using LangChain. So quickly, what do we have today, and explain the scenario in terms of what are we solving?
Yeah, in fact, thanks, Sandeep. So the scenario I'm about to demonstrate is this. So I'm an enterprise where I have spent a lot of effort to be able to aggregate data from multiple data sources from on-prem, other clouds, and all that, and then I have managed to consolidate them in on Azure cloud. Let's say in a data lake, in a lakehouse database, and then I'm using Power BI to actually surface all those insights. Okay, so that's the current implementation. And then there's a thought that hey, is it possible for us to extend the power of this particular data estate that we have and the analytics and insights into other channels as well? For example, how about a conversational agent on top of this particular data? I mean, we know that conventionally, if we have to build such an application for developers, it needs to have quite tight coupling with the various requirements and how questions could be asked and how they could be translated into back-end queries on systems and come back with those information. But then with the LangChain, actually, it has a notion of an agent which really helps you very quickly build these sort of scenarios and so bring the value of that to this kind of client-side applications too.
Wonderful, wonderful. So basically, the scenario is it's an enterprise data lake. On top of it, we're trying to bring in a conversation facade.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And of course, rightly said, a lot of plumbing required, and LangChain does the magic for us, right?
True.
Awesome. So let's, why don't we just go take a look at the demo right away?
Sure. Yeah. Let's.
Perfect. Awesome.
What you see here is a data lake store on Azure. So this particular folder contains a CSV file, which is information about different organizations in different countries, and then the number of employees they have and the line of business they are into. What I want to do is I want to use Azure Synapse to create a lakehouse database on top of it over the CSV file. So let me show you that. So I have actually configured this lakehouse database on top of the CSV file. So you can see that I have the organization table here, and then I can invoke a new script, and then I can query it as though it were a table. So you'll see that it's the same information that I showed you on the CSV file itself. So now what I want to do is that imagine this particular enterprise has invested in building, invested in Power BI, for example, to build analytics and insights on top of this particular data. And then you may say that, hey, they may want to extend the power of this aggregation analysis that Synapse supports to other channels. For example, I want to expose a conversational interface on top of this particular data so that internal users could use that interface, and in natural language, they should be able to express what they want. And then the Synapse engine should be able to run those aggregations, run those queries, and then come back with the results. So let me take you to this particular application, which uses LangChain. Okay, and then it has been configured with a SQL agent which can connect to the lakehouse database that I described. Let me run this. So very shortly you'll see a prompt asking me to enter the question in natural language. So now let me paste the question I have. So I'm saying, give me the top 3 industries in Singapore that employ the most number of employees, and also give me the number of employees in the response. You see that it's a very the conversational way of asking a particular question, and this needs to be translated into proper queries, T-SQL queries on the backend. So now let me hit enter, and then you'll see that LangChain has taken over. It is trying to, it is connecting to the data source, picking up all the tables that exist there. It identifies the table we are looking for based on what I entered in the input prompt. Okay, and then it has gone ahead and picked up the schema of that particular table. Okay, and then it has run a trial query on that particular table to get some records, and after that it has composed a query on the fly based on how I described in natural language, and then ran that query and came back with these results. You see that this is what it has to respond to.
Perfect. Srikanth, very meaningful demonstration. In fact, the heavy lifting dominantly was done by LangChain. And
Right.
by the way, how much time did it take for you to kind of do this?
Yeah, actually, after figuring how to get the whole thing together, I think applying the core LangChain capability, I think just took about a few hours to get it done actually.
Wow. I think if you do it manually, right, program it manually, it would take probably days and weeks.
That's true, yes.
Wonderful. So I think way forward is LangChain for developers who wish to bring in LLM as part of the application development. Is that a fair
Exactly.
statement to make?
Yeah, definitely, yes. And actually, with time, we'll see more and more agents coming up for different scenarios, which is only going to extend the scope to which we can bring LLM to, and all the enterprise data that you want to complement what LLM can do with.
Perfect. Srikanth, thank you so much. That was very meaningful. And all viewers today, as Srikanth rightly said, if you're an application developer, if you want to harness the power of large language model as part of application development, and if you want to bring in a conversation facade on top of your enterprise data, LangChain is the way forward. With that, thank you for watching us today. Keep watching TGIF. A wonderful Friday and a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.